Comes with a 5.5-inch 1080p display, Gorilla Glass 3 protection, Snapdragon 617 innards, and you can get this phone with either 2 gigs of RAM, 16 gigs of storage, or 3 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of storage. Prices start at Rs 13,499 for the 2 gig variant and goes up to 14,999 for the 3 gig RAM variant. Now let's talk about the build on the device. On the right you have the power lock and unlock button, which is a bit textured, and also the volume rocker. Both are sturdy and they do offer good feedback. You'll find the audio jack at the top, and you can still see the classic Motorola design, although the back is now flat instead of being curved, but still the phone does feel good to hold in hand. At the bottom you'll find a space to open the back cover and the micro USB port. You'll also find a 16 megapixel camera here with laser autofocus, face detection autofocus, LED flash, and you can see the camera hump is actually not that big. The back has a very subtle texture which does make the phone easier to grip, and you have that classic Motorola dimple right there. Now in itself the back cover might feel a bit flimsy, but when on the phone it is very solid. Now you have a non-removable 3000 mAh battery here, 2 separate SIM card slots and a separate micro SD card slot. And you do have support for fast charging here as well. In the front you have a 5 megapixel camera, and the earpiece is also the speakerphone of the device. It actually sounded quite well, didn't sound tinny. And at the bottom you have the fingerprint sensor. Now this is not a button, it's just a sensor, which we'll talk about in a very short while. And talking about that display, it has wide viewing angles, it is plenty sharp, it is a 5.5-inch 1080p IPS panel. Colors also did seem quite alright. No distortion in brightness or colors no matter how you tilt this display. Now one thing I've really loved about Motorola smartphones is the way you open up the camera app. Just double twist your wrist and it opens up. The camera actually takes images pretty quickly as well. Now this is a new camera app. It is quite improved from previous generations. You can record 1080p videos with the rear camera, and the front facing camera also did a pretty decent job. Now here are some of the samples we took with the rear camera, and these actually did turn out quite well. You can see there is quite a bit of detail. There is not much noise in these images. Color reproduction also seemed quite alright. Overall, if you ask my first impressions, I would say that this seems to be a pretty decent camera. Now these are all in good amount of light. We also took the camera indoors, and you can see even then the camera did a pretty decent job. Color reproduction especially is pretty good, even though there was quite horrible lighting there. Overall it does seem like a pretty decent camera, but we'll keep our views a bit open till we get the device for review. And with that, let's get to software. So again, the Moto G4 Plus is rocking Android 6.0.1 Marshmallow right out of the box. Stock Android, no bloatware on the device, just the essential apps, and that's just about it. Very clean, pure Android experience. You can see right there as well. Now again, this enables the device to get faster updates, which is always great. Now out of the box on the 32 gig variant, you will get about 25 gigs of storage. USB OTG is also supported here. And if we come to available RAM, out of the 3 gigs available on the device, we had about 2 gigs, even though several apps were running in the background. Now this fingerprint sensor is actually very fast. I'll just show it to you. Now this is not a home button, just let me clear that. It's just a fingerprint sensor, and you can see it works like a charm every single time. It is blazingly fast. And then there are some neat Moto additions like double karate chop to turn the flash on, turn it off. You can flip the phone to silence it, you can double twist to open up the camera app, and all things actually do work out quite well. And these are some usability features which really stand apart. And overall performance with the Snapdragon 617 on the Moto G4 Plus was pretty decent too. Now I didn't spend a lot of time with the device, a couple of hours, but overall it still felt very snappy. Now the Moto G4 Plus 2 seems very good to hold in hand, but I did like the curved back of the Moto G3 a bit better. Now as I said earlier, the Moto G4 Plus will be available in black as well as white colors, and we have both of them right in front of you. Now this is the white one again, and this too actually looks pretty good. Now I prefer the black color a bit more because you won't see dirt on it that easily, and because of that textured back, the white color would get dirty pretty quickly. We saw that with the previous gen Moto G as well. Now both the colors actually look quite good. It's a personal preference. I would go for the black one. You may like the white one because it gels well with the sort of metallic frame of the device. Well folks, that's it for this video. The Moto G4 Plus does seem like a very promising device. We'll be bringing more videos on it very soon, so stay tuned to Phone Munch. Do hit that subscribe button to get our videos first. Do hit that like button if you like this video. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a great day.